This video has been a long time coming. I'm taking a look at Papyrus Author, a writing app available for Windows and Mac operating systems that, quite frankly, is the most feature-rich writing app I have ever used. What's up, guys? Michael Laron here with Author Level Up, helping you write world-class stories better and faster. And I make these videos because I believe that each of you has Dean Koontz level talent and you just need help unlocking it. So if you're new here and you want to watch more writing app review videos, click that subscribe button and click the little bell to get notifications every time I have a new video. Let's get one thing out of the way here. This is a subscription-based writing app. There is a free version that is very full-featured, but if you want the pro features, it will cost you $14.99 per month at the time of this video. I know many of you aren't going to like that, so you don't have to watch this video. If you're still watching, I have to let you know that this is the most robust writing app I have ever used, and if there was any writing app, and like I said, I've used dozens of these. If there was any writing app that is worth every penny of the $14.99, it's this one. So straight up, this app is ridiculous. I've never seen so many features in a writing app. And every time I use it, I see something I didn't see before. And it is really quite remarkable. So if you want to pay your money for a subscription here, the value is absolutely there. I'm just going to cut to the chase on that. And because there are so many features in this app, I can't get to all of them in this short video. So if at least 10 people comment below and say, hey, Michael, do a long form Papyrus Author video, then I will. And I will sit down and do a 30, 45-minute video and go through every feature of this app so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and why I was so impressed. But let's jump into the app and you can see what I'm talking about. First things first, we are inside Papyrus Author now. I'm using the Mac version. From what I could tell, the Windows version is pretty similar, so you don't have to worry about that. Papyrus Author does have a free version. You will be able to do most of what I show you in this video. There are some pro features. I will do my best to call those out. But you do not need the pro version in order to write your manuscript or do any of the major features that you would need as a writer. First things first, let's talk about the design. It is pretty aesthetically pleasing. I like the icons on the top. It feels very similar to Microsoft Word. And yeah, I have no problems with that whatsoever here. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got our navigator, which for many writing app users, this would be similar to a binder or another writing app where you can see all of your chapters along the left-hand side of the screen here. We've also got our word processor in the center, and I can type here. And I will say that the word processor works pretty well. And it feels, the keys feel springy. Everything feels good. There's not really any lag. This is about as good of a writing app experience as you can get with a word processor. We've got the ability to bold and italicize and do all that stuff that you're used to. And we've also got a highlighter function, some other things. There shouldn't be anything shocking in the writing app experience. And I think if you've ever used Scrivener or Dabble, you'll be right at home here. Now, moving over to the right-hand side of the screen, we've got this thing called a pen board. Now, this functions very much like a cork board where you can put sticky notes and things on it to help you remember or keep track of things. So if I right-click here, I can create a sticky note, and I have the ability to put things on it, and I can format the text, and I can change the size, or if I wanted to, I can move it around, and all of those things. I have seen some setups of Papyrus Author where some authors, you can even create two pen boards. So you can have one on the right-hand side, and then you can even have one on the left-hand side. And if you want to, another thing that you can do is you can change the background. So if I right-click and then go to pen board background, then I've got some options here that I can go through. So if I want clouds, or if I want wheat or flowers, or I can even upload my custom background if I want to do that. So there's some pretty cool things that you can do with this here. Now, let me show you something that just blew me away about Papyrus Author here. Okay, so if I go back to the word processor, I have the ability to add comments. Now, you're probably thinking that's not that amazing. However, Papyrus Author also supports track changes. Now, when I saw this, I did a double take and my head spun around and then exploded. So if I click this little button here, I have the ability to do track changes. So I'll turn this on, and it works pretty close to how Microsoft Word works. All right, so if I go and I change this here to awoke, you can see that it's changing the text. And if I highlight over this, I have the ability to accept or reject the text as well. And that's cool. I have not seen that. I've tested dozens of writing apps on this channel. I have not seen any writing app do that. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why would I want to track changes in my own work? It's not like I can send this over to my editor or anything. Let me show you something else. Papyrus Author also supports importing Microsoft Word files with tracked changes. So let me show you what happens when I import one of my books that was sent to me by my editor. This is what it looks like when you bring the manuscript in with your track changes. And these are all of the edits that my editor made on this manuscript. I mean, look at this. I mean, hot damn, when have you ever seen this in a writing app? I just think that the development team here, they need lots of kudos for this because this is really impressive. So you can bring your manuscript in and keep it all in the same ecosystem, which I just happen to think is great. So this is a huge, huge feature. Moving back to the original document, now I'm going to show you just a couple of the pro features so you can get a sense of how those work. So the first thing I want to show you is the My Characters feature, and I can do this by clicking on the comedy and tragedy mask up here in the menu. Now, if you're using the free plan, you may not see this set of icons here because these are part of the pro plan. Just want to give you a little taste of what is available with the pro version. All right. So if I click on this icon here, this takes me to a database, and it looks a little weird at first, but essentially the way this works is you can create a database that houses all of your characters, and then you can link those characters to the manuscript. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about here. If I click on this new button, this brings up a character dossier, and I can start filling it out, and I can even put a picture of my character here, and I can fill out all the information here. I won't go through it, but you get a sense of what is available here. Size, age, sex, shape. Probably more here than what you need, but probably better to have more than less, right? And then if there are additional things that you want to add in the background, you can do that here. All right, so what I can do here is I can click this apply button, and then I'll exit here, or I can even just click to this document. You can see here now that my character's name is highlighted, and if I hover over it, I can go to the record and I can go back to her information here. So the way that this is helpful, we'll go back to the document. The way this is helpful is if I'm writing my manuscript and I forgot what color eyes my character has, or I forgot what she happened to be wearing, I can just click on this and it'll take me back to the database. So that is a very, very helpful feature. Now I can go back to the character database here, and then I can even see this entry that I just made. Now obviously it's empty, but very, very helpful. And I can even, if I wanted to, create a report, and I could even generate a report that has all my character information on it, just in case you wanted to happen to give that to your editor, okay, or a beta reader or someone who might need it. But it would be helpful for someone who's writing books with a lot of characters. The next thing I want to show you is another pro feature, and I'm just going to glance over it, and that is the timeline. So I know there are a lot of people that need timelines when they're writing their work, particularly if you're writing historical fiction or if you're writing a thriller where a clock is a major part of the story. So if I click on this timeline button here, that will take me to this little timeline feature here. And I've kind of already filled some of this out, but you can see here I have a date, and then it's also doing a range. So this chapter is taking place over 2 days. This chapter is 1 day. This chapter is 2 days. And again, this is almost like one of those things where I could really, really go into this deeply, but there's a lot here. I mean, you can zoom out of the timeline. You can even create some ghost chapters. There's a lot of functionality here. And I would highly encourage people who are interested in this to take a serious look at this timeline feature because this is one of the few writing apps that has a workable timeline feature that I think a lot of people would get some benefit from. So we can click this jump back to text button, and this will take us back to the manuscript. Now, there is also the ability to create a think board, also known as a mind map. So this is also a pro feature. If I click on this button here, This will take me to a blank canvas, and if I double click, as it says here, to create a new item, it creates a little bubble, and I can create a bubble like so. And then if I right click that bubble, I can do different things to it. I can create a logo next to it or an icon next to it. I can change the line width. I can change all sorts of things here. And then if I hit enter, I can create another one, or if I don't do anything, it'll go away. And then I've got an item here. I can also go in and change this style. So if I want to change the color, I can do that. I can also change the shape. So if I want it to be an octagon, I can move it around, so on and so forth. And then if I want to put some text effects in it, I can do that too. If I also go in, I can change the font size because that's a little small. You get the picture. So we'll change this one down here. We'll change the shape to a rounded rectangle. And if I want, I can even move it around like so. And then if I want to connect these items, I can just simply hold the command button, click on both of them, and then right click, and then group the items together. And then if I wanted to, I can move these around like so. But what if I want to connect these two items together with a line, you ask? Well, I can take this and I can click it and I can drag it into it, and look at that. And then if I right click, I can change the line style to dotted. And then if I click the line and right click it, then I can even change the arrow directions. I can do arrows on both ends. I can even change the line style if I want to do that. Now, again, with mind map apps, there's a lot you can do. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm doing that to keep this video short. But you can get a sense of just how powerful this can be if you are one of those people that is visual and you want to just throw a bunch of stuff up on a mind map or create a vision board for your character or anything else that you might want to do with this. A lot of horsepower in this app. All right, another feature I want to show you is the direct speech. So if I click on these lips here, it's going to look awfully familiar to my friends who use Scrivener. If I click this here, you'll notice that everything except the dialogue fades out. So this is very similar to linguistic focus from Scrivener. And then you can go around and edit, and this is a very nice feature to have and be able to use if you want to be editing in isolation. The next feature I want to show you is a feature called My Research. So if I go to Author, this is a pro plan feature, by the way. If I go to My Research here, I have another database that's very similar to the character database, but the fields are different. So as I'm researching my novel, if I want to store my research in a database and link it to the manuscript, I can do that by double-clicking. And then I have a sample entry here with Zeus, and you can tell this was taken from the internet. And if I scroll down a little bit further here, I've got some information regarding where I found it. Now, that's always a helpful thing to be able to do, but you probably would think, this is kind of tedious to have to put this in every time I find something, right? Well, Papyrus Author has a web extension that you can download for Chrome and Firefox that will basically work like a web clipper with Evernote or OneNote. So as you come across things on the internet, you just click that button in your browser, and then it'll save it directly into your research database. Now, that's how it's supposed to work in theory. I tested this as I was testing the app, and for some reason, I could not get the web extension to work, so it looks like there's a bug in it at the time that I recorded this video, but I would fully expect that the developers are on top of that and hopefully can get this working. So just imagine the power of being able to be off on the internet researching, clicking that web extension, getting it downloaded into your database, and then being able to link it to your manuscript. And if you really wanted to, I mean, you can even use this report button here, and you can export a database of all your research. If you ever need to share your research with someone, it's just helpful to know that that's there. And last but not least, this is obviously not a pro feature, but I can click on File and Publish, and I can publish my manuscript to various different formats, PDF, EPUB, MOBI, even Word doc or text, if you so choose. So, like I said, this app has so much horsepower in it. I could not do it justice in a small review video, but I hope that you see why I was so impressed with this app. Papyrus Author is available for Mac and Windows, and as I mentioned earlier, it is available in a free version and a Pro version. The free version allows you to write manuscripts, edit your manuscripts, and format those manuscripts with no limitations. So many people would find benefit from the free version. The pro version includes some of those more advanced features that I showed you, like the timeline, the web extension, the character database, the research database, and a few other things that I think you may find helpful. I just cannot understate how many features are jam-packed into this writing app. And with the exception of that one minor hiccup that I found that honestly I think is pretty easily fixable, for the most part, all of these features are executed on a really high level. So there's a lot here, and there's a lot that can help you from coming up with the idea all the way down to the formatting of the manuscript. And I really give the developers of Papyrus Author a lot of credit in doing some things that other writing app developers wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, like track changes. You can download the free version by going to papyrusauthor.com. And if you would like to subscribe, remember that it is a subscription-based writing app that will cost you, at the time of this video, $14.99 per month. What do you think? If you want me to do a long-form review of this app, let me know. 10 people. Let me know if you want to see it. But I want to know what you think about this writing app and what you think about the features, because I was blown away as I was testing this. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video.
Perfect.